Welcome back guys. So this is going to be the review of Poco F5 5G. In some markets it is known as Redmi Note 12 Turbo. I purchased this device last week from Flipkart India. Here the base variant is being sold for about rupees 30,000, that's roughly $362. Multiple offers were available at launch. You could get a discount of rupees 3,000 on specific credit or debit cards. Extra rupees 3,000 discount on mobile exchange offer. I availed this offer, exchanged my Redmi K50i, got a total discount of about 15,600 rupees. In the end I paid about rupees 14,500 for the device. I'll quickly show you the contents of the box. I've been using the device for almost a week now. The device comes with a silicone case, SIM ejector pin, there's the silicone case, manuals, and just place the device in the case. Fits very nicely. I have the carbon black variant of the device. Yeah, it's a bit glossy. At the bottom of the box you will find this type C to type A USB cable. Use it for charging and data transfer. A 67 watts charger is included. You can see the output reading. The text is really very small. I hope it's visible. Quickly going through the specs, the phone comes with the brand new Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 2 processor that's based on a 4 nanometer production process from TSMC. You can consider it as a downclocked version of Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 processor. The display extends 6.67 inches diagonally. It's a 12-bit AMOLED panel that supports up to 68.7 billion colors, up to 120 Hz refresh rate, both HDR10 and Dolby Vision. Triple camera setup. For the wide lens, a 64 megapixel sensor is used. It supports optical image stabilization. Comes with an aperture size of f1.8. For the ultra wide lens, an 8 megapixel sensor is used. This is very disappointing. Comes with an aperture size of f2.2. And for the macro sensor, a 2 megapixel sensor is used that comes with an aperture size of f2.4. For the selfie camera, 16 megapixel sensor is used. The phone is passively cooled, that is handled by a vapor chamber and graphite sheets. The device has a battery capacity of about 5000 mAh. 67 watt charger is included. The front display is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 5. Dual stereo speaker setup with Dolby Atmos. For the Indian variant, these are the SAR values. For the head part, it's 0.857 watt per kg, and for the body part, it's 0.860 watt per kg. Now this device comes with 2 years of warranty. Yes, you heard it right. Supports multiple 5G bands. You can see the complete list right here. Now the base variant of this device comes with 8GB of RAM, LPDDR5, and 256GB of ROM, UFS 3.1 based storage. Out of the box you will be getting around 212GB of free space. Moving on to its design, I/O and buttons. Device comes with a pre-applied screen guard. I hope it's visible. Comes with a plastic frame, matte finish. Backside is also plastic, glossy finish. Now the backside is not completely blank. It has these stripes. I hope they are visible. No island design for the cameras, individual rings. Bulge is not extreme. The device does not wobble much when placed on a flat surface. It also has an IP53 dust and splash resistant rating. So at the bottom we have this SIM card tray, mic, USB Type-C interface, and the grill for the speaker. The left edge is completely blank. On the right edge we have the volume rocker and the power button that also works as the fingerprint sensor. On the top side we have this 3.5mm port, grill for the speaker. This seems to be another mic, and this is the IR blaster. The grill for the earpiece is housed right here. It's a bit difficult to capture it on camera. The audio for the incoming call comes out through here. It's quite clear, no issues with that. Thin bezels across all 4 edges. The cutout for the selfie camera is unobtrusive. Device comes with a simple rectangular design. Slight curves at the 4 corners. It's lightweight. Weight is around 180 grams. Very comfortable to hold. The slight curves on the backside edges makes it easier to grip. The device does not come with any notification LED. This is disappointing. Let me just show you the SIM card tray. There you go. This is my Idea SIM. Supports 2 5G SIMs. Does not support any SD card. I didn't have any issues with the signal quality. Talking about the display, excellent quality, high brightness, high contrast ratio. The colors don't fade when looking from the sides. Deep blacks, These are the display settings. From here we can change the refresh rate. First option, default, basically sets the refresh rate automatically. When you are using the device, refresh rate will be around 120 Hz. When the device is idle or when you are watching any video, the refresh rate will be set to 60 Hz. Then we have the custom setting. Now we can choose between 60 Hz and 120 Hz. I'm using 120 Hz mode. Smooth scrolling experience. Then we have this setting, AI image engine. It's basically the SDR to HDR enhancement. Process videos using HDR effects to bring out more detail in the light and darker areas. Color scheme can be changed from here. I'm using this vivid scheme. Adjust colors based on the content display. We can select from saturated, standard, and even the advanced setting, entirely up to you. I did not like the setting for always on display. It only lasts for 10 seconds. This is very disappointing, so it's not an always on display. The effect will be disabled after 10 seconds. I don't have any HDR compatible media, so I'm just playing this HDR video that is available on YouTube. Quality has been set to 4K 60 fps HDR. Yeah, the video quality looks amazing. So you can use this sidebar to open the video toolbox. There it is. And from here we can access certain apps. Dolby Atmos. I have actually muted the audio not to avoid any copyright. So from here we can record the video if we want, take a screenshot, and this is a cool feature, play video sound with screen off. Let me just increase the volume, use this setting. You can see screen has been turned off, but audio is still playing. This is the DRM info for the device. It has Widevine L1 support, meaning you can stream Netflix and Amazon Prime videos in HD. I do have Prime membership, and you can see this video is being streamed at full HD resolution. On the left side I have Mi 11X, also known as Poco F3 in some markets. I'll just refer to it as Poco F3. On the right side I have Poco F5. I'll be measuring the lowest and the peak brightness for both of these devices. First we have Poco F3, white background, brightness maxed out. You can see the reading here, almost 560 lux. Now the brightness level has been set to 1% and the reading is around 5 lux. Now we have Poco F5, brightness maxed out. You can see the value here, 565 lux, only slightly higher than Poco F3. Brightness level set to 1% and the value is around 13 lux. This value was lower on Poco F3. Okay, so now I'll be measuring the audio output from the speakers. Volume has been maxed out. We'll be playing cartoon song by NCS. Unit is dBA. Audio quality is quite good, balanced, roughly the same amplitude value for both of the speakers, around 98.7 dBA. I noticed that the audio did not crack even at max volume. The voice was a bit thin, barely any bass was present. Now I'll be talking about the performance of the device. It comes with an octa-core processor that has one Cortex X2 Prime core clocked at 2.91 GHz, 3 Cortex A710 cores clocked at 2.49 GHz, and 4 efficient Cortex A510 cores clocked at 1.8 GHz. The device is shipped with Android 13 based MIUI 14. I had added all of the benchmarking apps to game speed turbo mode. Performance mode was enabled from the battery settings. First we have the Antutu benchmark test. The device scored around 968,000. CPU score was around 246,000 and the GPU score was around 357,000. Very impressive numbers. Then we have the results for the Geekbench 6 benchmark test. Single core score was around 1641. The multi-core score was around 4248. You can see the kernel here. Then we have the 3D Mark Wildlife Extreme test. Device scored around 1972 with an average FPS of around 11.8. Then I ran the CPU throttling test for about 5 minutes using the default settings. CPU throttled to around 92% of its max performance. Check out the average score, around 304,000 GIPS. Minimum score was around 274,000 GIPS. In simpler terms, this means that the device has very good performance. I have already tested a lot of games on this device. Was able to run Genshin Impact with the high settings at 60 FPS. This made the device a bit hot. Temperature increased up to 41 degrees Celsius. Nothing extreme. Ambient temperature was around 30 degrees Celsius. For the longevity of the device, I would recommend using low settings 60 FPS. Was able to run New State Mobile Battle Royale mode at 90 FPS, and in Call of Duty Mobile multiplayer mode, game was actually running at 90 FPS. It was a smooth experience. The touch controls were responsive. Display has a touch response rate of 240 Hz. Battery life of the device is quite good. I observed a 13% drop in battery after playing Genshin Impact for about 30 minutes with the high preset 60 FPS setting. With casual usage, the device should last for about 2 days. With medium usage, it should easily last for about a day. These are the battery settings. From here you can toggle among the different battery modes: save battery, balance, performance, ultra battery saver. From here you can also see which app is consuming the most battery current. In my case, it's Reddit. You can also limit the battery usage for individual apps. Just tap on the setting cog here, scroll down, go to app battery saver. From here just select the application, for example 3D Mark. Now you can select from these options: no restrictions, battery saver, recommended, restrict background apps, restrict background activity. Good thing is that the device charges quickly using the inbox charger. I was able to charge the battery from 0 to 100% in about 50 minutes. Now I'll be talking about MIUI ROM. This device comes with Android 13 based MIUI 14. This ROM runs completely different on low-end, mid-range and high-end devices. On this device my experience has been quite good. Scrolling through the interface is a smooth process. Device can easily open multiple apps without any hitches. Gameplay experience has also been a stable one, but I have observed that the memory management on this MIUI ROM is very aggressive. It automatically kills the apps running in the background after a few minutes. So if you want to keep them running in the background, you need to lock them in the taskbar. Let me just show you how to do it. Open the taskbar. Let's say I want to lock the security app. Press and hold it. Lock it by tapping on this lock icon. There you go. Now it should not be killed after a few minutes. I am using gestures to navigate through the interface. They were enabled by default. You can always revert to the old navigational buttons at the bottom from the settings. I find the gestures quite easy to use. In order to go to the home menu, just swipe up from the bottom, and in order to open the taskbar, swipe up from the bottom and hold like this. You can change the device's theme via the themes app. In order to change the wallpaper, just go to the home screen, press and hold on any empty area of the screen like this. Press on this icon, wallpapers will load up. There you go. Again, by default, the control center and the notification shade are separated. In order to open the control center, you need to swipe down from the top right corner like this. You can see the toggles. In order to open the notification shade, just swipe down from the top left corner like this. You can always revert to the old style where the notifications and the toggles are shown on the same page. Entirely up to you. MIUI does come with a lot of bloatware. Out of the box, there were a lot of third-party applications installed on this device. I was able to uninstall most of them. Some of these applications are still remaining, just like this Opera browser. Now I did not observe any ads on Poco F5. I used my Mi 11X for almost 2 years, did not observe any ads even on that device. But the thing is, on my Redmi K50 and Poco X3 Pro, I started observing ads after about 6 months of usage. I hope ads don't pop up on this device. For any native MIUI application, just disable recommendations if you don't want to receive any ad. For example, let me just open the MIUI file manager. Now just go to settings, tap on the hamburger icon, settings, tap on about. Make sure recommendation setting is disabled. On my Redmi K50i and Poco X3 Pro, even with this setting disabled, I observed ads. I like the fact that MIUI comes with Xiaomi's own app store, Get Apps. I don't see it as a bloatware. You can use this store application to download any app or game that's not available on Play Store for some reason. For example, I used it to download Antutu application and Tower of Fantasy. Both of them are not available on Play Store. In my case, I am from India. Now I'll be covering the MIUI security app. It comes with a lot of features. I'll just cover the important ones. Security scan, you can use it to run a scan on your device, scan for viruses. Manage applications, from here you can uninstall applications. Battery settings can be accessed from here. Clear the cache, deep clean. Using this you can find out the files and folders that are consuming the most space on your storage. And then scroll down, you will find these applications. Enable or disable the app lock from here. Access your block list, data usage, dual apps. Second space basically creates a separate partition. Privacy, from here you can get to know about the application that have certain permissions. Let me just show you this. For example, 11 apps have permanent access to my contact list. These are the applications. I can restrict the access from here. I'll restrict it for VI application. Don't allow. It's as simple as that. Lastly, we have the popular Game Turbo application. It optimizes your gaming experience. Just need to add your game to it. Process is very simple. Just tap on this plus icon here and tap on the toggle next to the application or game, like this. It has been added. I'll show you the settings. Just tap on the settings from here. First we have the general settings. Game Turbo enabled, in-game shortcuts, content recommendation disabled. You don't want to see the ads. Performance mode. These are the settings that are enabled by default. You don't need to tweak much here. Performance optimization enabled, avoid overheating and hardware related issues. Game do not disturb. That's it. Now on the older builds of MIUI, I always used to use the floating FPS counter of Game Speed Turbo, but unfortunately it has been removed now. The current interface does not even show the CPU and GPU usage when we are playing the game. It shows an inaccurate FPS counter. Let me just show you this. We can use this sidebar to open Game Speed Turbo mode interface. There it is, not showing any CPU and GPU usage. And if you tap on boost, a fake FPS counter will be shown before 100 FPS. After tapping on boost, FPS increase up to 120. Game is not even playing, it's just a static image. Here shortcuts have been provided for taking the screenshot, recording the gameplay, accessing the settings, voice changer. Now I did not like the 30 FPS limit for the screen recording application. Let me just show you this. If I tap on record, stop the video, tap on the settings icon here. Resolution set to 2400 by 1080 pixels. Frame rate setting, 3 options available: 15, 24 and 30 fps. No 60 fps option available even with the lowest resolution selected. Sound source, these 3 options are available: mute, mic and system sounds. Now I'll show you how to enable the MIUI frame rate monitor tools. We need to enable the developer mode first. Open settings, go to about phone, keep tapping on MIUI version here until you see the message you are already a developer. Then go back, scroll down, tap on additional settings, then tap on developer options. Scroll down until you find the power consumption setting. Under frame rate monitor tools, just tap on start. There it is. There's the FPS counter and this is the frame pacing graph. Here you can see the motherboard temperature, free RAM. Now I'll be talking about the quality control issue of Xiaomi phones in India. There have been a lot of reports regarding the motherboard of Poco X3 Pro becoming dead after updating to the latest MIUI. I have also read reports regarding the camera sensors of Xiaomi phones becoming dead due to overheating. In case of Poco X3 Pro, when users went to the service center in order to get their phones fixed, they were charged an amount of around rupees 10 to 12,000 for devices that were not in warranty. In my opinion, if it was the fault of the manufacturer, they should not have charged the customer. Xiaomi did receive a lot of criticism for this, and I think in response to this criticism, they have provided a 2 years warranty for this device. The haptics are decent, not a big improvement over Poco F3, but I am not complaining. From the sound and vibration settings, you can change the haptic feedback level. Vibration intensity of the motor is concentrated in this area. This is the standard MIUI camera interface. You can switch among the different modes using side swipes, just like this. 1x at the center represents wide lens, 0.6 represents the ultra wide lens, and 2x here represents 2x lossless zoom feature. You can switch among the different filters by tapping on the star icon here. Using this icon, you can switch to the front camera. At the top, we have some quick toggles. This is for flash, this is for HDR, this is for AI, Google Lens, and from the hamburger icon, we can access the different settings. From here we can change the aspect ratio, timer for the picture, settings, and from here we can switch to the macro lens, 2 megapixel snapper. In order to lock the focus and exposure, just press and hold on any part of the viewfinder, just like this. You can adjust the exposure value by moving the slider up or down. When it comes to video recording, using the main camera, you can record videos at up to 4K resolution 30 fps. If you want to record the videos in 60 fps mode, just drop the resolution to full HD. And when using the ultra wide lens, video recording is limited to full HD resolution 30 fps. Using the front camera, you can record videos at up to full HD resolution 60 fps. Xiaomi also offers a pro mode. Using this mode, we can tweak a lot of values such as white balance, focus, shutter speed, ISO, exposure value, and from here we can switch between the lens, ultra wide, wide. We even have some more settings. Just go to the extreme right hand. From here we can access the long exposure mode, full 64 megapixel sensor, panorama mode, etc, etc. So now I'll be showing you some camera, image and video samples. I took this picture using the main 64 megapixel camera. It offers a good level of detail, wide dynamic range, vibrant colors upon zooming in. Image quality is still sharp and there's barely any noise. Unfortunately, the colors of the leaves are a bit too saturated. I noticed the same thing happened every time the camera tried to capture bright colors. These colors are not true to life. Look at that yellow shade. This time I used the AI mode. It detected the leaves. Unfortunately, the colors were still a bit too saturated. This is the picture that I took using the 2x lossless zoom feature. Yeah, the image quality looks good. Even after zooming in, it's sharp enough, and this time the colors of the leaves were not overblown. So it seems the camera software has some issues as of now. This is a picture that I took using the 8 megapixel ultra wide lens, and I'll be honest guys, I was impressed by the color production, decent dynamic range, but after zooming in, there is a noticeable drop in the image sharpness expected from an 8 megapixel snapper. This is a picture that I took using the selfie camera against the bright background. Camera did a decent job of capturing the face, offered good level of detail with true to life colors. You can even see the skin pose. With proper lighting condition, the selfie camera can capture a lot of details. Color production was decent. Upon zooming in, I did observe some noise in the background. This time I used the portrait mode. Edge detection worked nicely for me most of the time. In my opinion, the background blur intensity was on the higher side even with the lowest preset. Bokeh effect looks much better using the main camera than the selfie camera. With proper lighting condition, a lot of details are captured. Upon zooming in, barely any background noise is noticeable. I was not impressed by the 2 megapixel macro snapper. Image quality was not sharp at all. Color production was also not good. I just took the same picture using the main camera from a slightly far away position and zoomed it in. Looks much better than the picture taken using the macro snapper. This is a picture that I took using the night mode feature of the main camera. It was completely dark most of the details were lost. I am recording this video using the rear camera of Poco F5 Full HD 60 fps recording. Just walking around the house, going outside. Camera supports optical image stabilization. We'll be shaking the device now. Yeah, the image is very stable. It's time to wrap up the review. I'll talk about the pros and cons. First, I'll talk about the pros. Excellent performance, beautiful display, very good battery life, fast charging support for 3.5mm jack. Base variant comes with 8GB of RAM and 256GB of ROM. Main camera takes very clear images and supports optical image stabilization. The device comes with 2 years of warranty. That's really good to see. Loud dual speaker setup that supports Dolby Atmos. Now coming on to the cons. No notification LED is present. Always on display lasts for only 10 seconds. Phone does not support SD card. Some people may not like the side mounted fingerprint sensor considering the device comes with an AMOLED panel. Xiaomi could have gone for the in-display fingerprint sensor. Ultra wide and macro cameras underperform. Was not impressed by the night mode as well. It's the same story for most of the mobile phones in this price segment. From my side, this phone is definitely recommended, especially to the people who are looking for a value for money device. I'll end the video here guys. I hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.